so our district will be condensed, let's say, with three other districts. We're going to have a much larger district. It'll go from basically, I think, about Marquette in the UP through all of Michigan, through sort of a top strip across Ohio and Illinois. Or is it Indiana? I'm not sure. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure which one. I think it's Illinois. So over the course of time, as we make our way towards that, there will be upcoming information about changes within the district. So one of the things that they're talking about is this will be the last year for our District 28 conference. So as that develops, you might, if you've never been to the conference before, this will be our last District 28 conference. So if you've never been before, I would encourage you to attend for that. Are there any other business meeting items that could be brought forward at this time? Bill? Your hand is raised.
I just wanted to make note that Artemis has stepped into the VP of membership role.
Oh, yes. Artemis. Thank you. And if there are no other points of business, we'll go into our regular meeting. Elise, welcome. And you are on the agenda today as evaluator for speech number 3. I see we have a visitor today, Pastor Chantel Michelle Jackson Naima. So welcome, Pastor Chantel. We're glad that you're visiting us today. Have you been to a Toastmasters meeting before? Yes. Okay, great. Well, we're happy to have you visit with us today. And at the end of the meeting, we will ask you for your observations and comments. And if you would not mind putting your contact information into the chat area, then we can follow up with you after the meeting. So thank you. With that, we'll move forward to our first item, which is the word of the day. Kimberly, Toastmaster Kimberly Baird, can you please come forward with your word of the day and place it in the chat?
Hello, everybody. The word of the day is used in a Toastmaster meeting to help us increase our vocabulary. And the word of the day today is eminently. It is an adverb, and it means very or to a high degree. So, to use it in a sentence, our team came up with an eminently sensible plan to reduce waste. Eminently. If you see someone using the word of the day, please applause or give them a thumbs up or recognize in some way.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Kimberly. So with that, we're going to proceed to our prepared speech portion of the meeting. We are fortunate to have 3 wonderful speakers today. Our first speaker is Toastmaster Anthony Gore, and Anthony will be speaking from the Dynamic Leadership Pathway, educational pathway, and his project is Understanding Your Leadership Style. So he is going to be speaking on the topic of leading with heart and vision. So let us welcome Toastmaster Anthony Gore. This will be a 5 to 7 minute speech, and our timer will display a background of red, yellow, and green to show when he's met the minimum, midpoint, and maximum point of his speech. Welcome, Anthony.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening. The name of my speech is Leading with Heart and Vision. When most people think of leadership, they imagine someone standing in front, giving directions, making decisions, and driving results. But for me, leadership has always looked a little different. It's not always about standing in front. It's about standing with people, That's what I discovered after I completed the Discover Your Leadership Style questionnaire. My results show that my primary leadership style was affiliative, altruistic, and visionary. At first, I smiled because it made perfect sense. I'm driven by connection, purpose, and the belief that leadership starts with caring about the people you serve. The affiliative leader leading through connection. The affiliative leader model could be people come first. I believe that when people feel valued, supported, and respected, they give their best. I've always tried to be that kind of leader, one who builds bridges rather than barriers. Whether I'm working on a team project, mentoring a student, or collaborating on a community initiative, I focus on creating harmony and trust. That means listening, really listening to what others need. It means celebrating successes and helping people recover from mistakes without judgment. This style shines brightest in the times of stress or transition, when people need reassurance and unity. But I also learned that too much harmony can also blur accountability. I'm learning to balance with empathy and expectation, to care deeply and challenge boldly. The altruistic leader, leading to serve, leading to serve. The altruistic side of me believe that leadership is a form of service. I'm not here to command, I'm here to contribute. An altruistic leader personalized their approach, meeting each person where they are. For me, that looks like active listening, patience, and understanding what motivates each individual. Sometimes it means taking an extra step to make sure some people feel included or understood, because belonging fuels performance. This kind of leadership requires humility, the willingness to say, how can I support you, instead of here's what you need to do. It's a slower yes, but it builds something stronger than compliance. It builds commitment. The visionary leader, leading towards possibility. Now it's here, now it's here where my third piece of leadership DNA comes in. Visionary leadership. Visionary leaders see not just where they are, but where they could be. I love helping people see the big picture, connecting today's work with tomorrow's impact. This kind of leadership motivates not through orders, but through inspiration. Then people see a clear and meaningful goal. They just don't work harder, they work smarter with passion and purpose. That's what fuels innovation and courage, especially we're taking risk or navigating change. The challenge for visionary leaders through is making a dream uh, grounded in a reality, turning inspiration to action, blending heart and vision. Each of these styles, affiliative, altruistic, and visionary, represents a balance between heart and direction. I lead best when I can do both. Build strong, trusted relationships, serving the needs of others, and painting a picture of what's possible. But leadership is also about growth. I learned that becoming a stronger leader, I have to lean in the moments that challenge my comfort zone, giving constructive feedback, setting firm expectations, and maintaining focus on results even when emotions are running high. That's not abandoning compassion, it's elevating it. The takeaway: leadership is love in action. At its core, leadership isn't about power or position, it's about people, their dreams, their challenges, their potential. Whether we're leading a class, a team, or a community initiative, our job is to bring the best in others and remind them of their wealth or their worth. I often think of leadership as love in action, love that listens, serves, and envisions something greater than ourselves. So as I continue to grow, I want to be a kind of leader who's not only inspire minds, but crown hearts. Because when people feel seen, supported, and connected to a shared purpose, there's no limit what we can build together. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was an eminently deep analysis, and I really appreciate a couple of things you said that really struck my nerve. Leadership DNA and love in action. Those two really stood out to me as really great phrases, and I applaud you for that. But you'll get a full evaluation through email with Bill Moylan. Excuse me, I have to hit the cough button. Pardon me for that. Our next speaker is distinguished Toastmaster Artemis Maya. Artemis will be speaking today from the presentation mastery with the project of Introduction to Vocal Variety in Body Language. Artemis, always an inspirational speaker, will talk to us with her speech 5 to 7 minutes entitled Grand Rising, Living Life Through My Spirit. Let us welcome Artemis.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters, special guests. I start each day with gratitude and being thankful for what good there is. There was a quote by Oprah Winfrey, and I really like it. Makes so much sense. Is when we think about what we do have, it is so rewarding. But when we think about what we don't have, we will never be satisfied or happy. I put all my burdens, problems in God's hands. That's how I'm turning my life around these days. Touch my life day by day. Keep me walking in the holy way. This is my daily ritual. It's my quiet moment to reflect and practice creative visualization. I question myself. I have affirmations and declarations of what will my day look like today. What do I want to achieve? Where am I directing my day proactively? What can I do proactively to help not only myself, but other beings as well, and to help empower them as well, but not just help them because you don't want to enable them. And also what I am doing is what the question I ask when something happens, no matter what it is, wait a minute, is this taking me where I need to be? Is what I'm doing taking me where I need to be? Well, fellow Toastmasters, come with me. Take a voyage with me, and I'll share with you. The first thing I do each and every day is breathe. And there's a method to my breathing, and I'll share with you as my yoga instructor told me, he said, do you do box breathing? Let's do box breathing. That's like box breathing. But this is an example of breathing in through your nose, holding it for a count of 4, and then slowly releasing it for a count of 8. And I'm thinking, wow, okay, we're breathing. Well, when I researched it, I found out that it can save your life. It can add years to your life. Proper breathing, deep controlled breathing, it regulates your nervous system. It lowers stress. It improves oxygenation. It strengthens your immune system, as well as it's supporting your cellular repair. Now that's like, wow, all that in just breathing that we take for granted. I exercise before I get out of bed because I want to kind of get into a mode of wellness. So I do a little sneak sit-ups. How can I get exercises in every day? So I'm already sitting there. So I do some sit-ups. Why not? I do a count of 25 when I get in the bed and a count of 25 or more as much as I can when I retire at bedtime. I set my music when I go to bed to something like nostalgic, something like ragtime or instrumental music, something from nature, because I want that kind of in my mind when I'm trying to rest. In the morning, I spray, it's called a Citric Magic Air Freshener, and it smells just like grapefruit. I smell that and it just calms me down like, ah, man, freshness. I greet my cats, and I have three: Pepper, Mr. Biggie, and Prancer. And then I walk into the kitchen, turn on my tea kettle. Depends on what I want. It could be an Earl Grey tea with a little turmeric and cloves in it, or I have this old-fashioned percolator, and I insist on using my old-fashioned percolator because it makes some of the best coffee. And I put this mushroom coffee called Lard by Lard. It has matachi in it and reishi extracts and an olive leaf, which is, it's not the instant brand. It's the one you perk. Or sometimes I just drink some hot ginger tea infused with mint and raspberry and fennel and other herbals that help me, and vitamin C. And if I'm really feeling low, I'll put a vapor cough drop in there too. And these little warm things, warm water. Some people say, oh, I drink hot water to get to unclog. It's like Crisco or oil or coconut oil, or when it's cold or it solidifies, but when it's warm, it kind of flows through your body, and you want your body to always be flowing and not clogged up. So makes perfect sense to me. I have to get my greenery in because I struggle with that. So I put a handful of greenery, watercress, mustard green, cilantro or kale. Then I add some beets to it and some berries, cranberry and apple juice. And I try to do that in the morning because it's really struggle, like I say, trying to get some greenery into my diet. When I'm feeling like a cold is coming on, then I double up with the vitamin C in my ginger tea, my hot ginger tea. And then I drink specifically that day. It's very important. My naturopathic doctor told me it's a Concord grape juice. So I make sure too that I take all my vitamins and my minerals. I like sea moss, and that's really good. You can research it. It's supposed to be good for the immune system and your lungs. So I try to plot out what I'm going to eat each day. What's for breakfast? I don't eat too much. What's for snack and what's for my last meal? I also set my standard for how much water that I'm going to require each day. So I do little tricks. I put a large water bottle in the bathroom. So when I have to go to the bathroom, then there's my water, and I drink that while I'm in the bathroom. At room temperature, spring water. Then I also fill up a 32-ounce water jug, and I sit it next to me on a computer and try to get through 2 of those throughout the day before the day is over. And I enjoy a nice soothing Epsom salt bath with something like eucalyptus. And I make sure I lotion myself over, especially my feet. And they said your feet is where all your nerves end at, your lungs. And so he suggested too, and it's really helpful. It's like interesting. Hydrogen peroxide, a little water, and you soak your feet in it. And it really just eats up all of the bacteria. So in closing, I would like to say these are some of my secrets of how I stay humble, graceful, peaceful, joyful, fun, mystical, magical, healthy, confident, fearless, and filled with light, which highly empowers me to give back and empower other beings. Madam Toastmaster.
You. Thank you. Let's give some applause to our Tamus, and if anyone would like to give her some feedback in the chat, now would be the opportune time to do that. And I'm just going to take a quick minute to collect my thoughts as I'll be evaluating her. I want to say welcome to Dr. Bill Liverman. Glad to see you here today. I know you said you were been quite busy with various book obligations, and Glad to see you back here at the meeting.
Yes, glad to be here.
Wonderful. All right, we'll move forward to our next speaker for the meeting. Our next speaker, Toastmaster Jelena Verkler. She's working on her, is this your second or third pathway? Third path?
I've completed one, but I'm doing two at the same time right now.
Okay, all right, you're doing two at the same time. So we've got two at the same time. She's working on visionary communications. And this particular project purpose is understanding your leadership style. So very similar to what we heard from Anthony. But everybody's leadership style is different. So we'll hear a different take from Toastmaster Jelena as she gives us 5 to 7 minutes presenting setting the tone. Setting the tone.
Thank you.
And her evaluator is Felice Wayne. Just go ahead.
I want everyone to close your eyes for a moment. Try to picture the quintessential leader. Who do you see? Maybe a superhero, an entrepreneur, or a president who held a nation together in a moment of crisis? But be honest. Were you picturing a woman? Growing up, most of the leadership examples I was given were loud, confident, and decidedly masculine. Leadership looked like bravado, like certainty, like never messing up. It looked imminently unshakable. And I wasn't sure if there was room for someone like me. That started to change when I began playing volleyball. In a world where women have historically been left out of leadership spaces, sports have quietly filled that gap. In fact, 94% of women in the C-suite played sports growing up. And volleyball, a sport largely shaped by women, doesn't reward that dominance or ego. It rewards trust, adaptability, and joy. And that's where I learned how to lead, by setting the tone. I learned first, lead with encouragement, not criticism. If a teammate hits a ball straight in the net, I don't stop setting them. In fact, I often set them again the very next play. And that's intentional. It says, I trust you. I believe in you. One mistake didn't change that. Traditional leadership often teaches us that authority comes from correction, but volleyball taught me that confidence grows faster through encouragement. People do not need reminders of their mistakes. They know. They need proof you still believe they can succeed. Second, rituals create safety and accountability. After every single play, win or lose, we come together in the middle of the court with the same energy every time. No blame, no eye rolls, and no ego. Those rituals do something powerful. They create psychological safety and collective responsibility. We all own the mistakes, just as we all share the wins. And we recommit to each other, point after point, creating a leadership of culture rather than control. Third, your emotional regulation is the team climate. In volleyball, momentum is everything. One eye roll, one sigh, one dropped shoulder can ripple through the entire team. And leadership works the same way. Your emotional regulation, or lack of it, becomes the emotional climate for everyone else. If you panic, others panic. But if you stay grounded, others will steady themselves. And when you make an impact play, when you dive and leave some skin on the court, it sends a message. I'm still in this. I still believe. Effort is contagious. Belief is contagious. As a leader, your energy often determines whether a group rallies or collapses. Fourth, name what went right, even correcting what went wrong. Feedback in volleyball is constant, but it's rarely framed as blame. You were in the right spot. I like that idea. I see the vision. Even when the outcome is bad, the process matters. Leaders who can name what went right while correcting what went wrong keep people engaged, motivated, and growing. This is the power of empathy in action. It's not about lowering standards, but raising your teammates to reach them. Fifth, communicate early, clearly, and often. In volleyball, silence is deadly. You have milliseconds to decide who's taking the ball and what happens next. Calling mine or help or out isn't optional. It's the difference between winning or losing. Leadership works the same way. Waiting too long to communicate creates confusion, resentment, and missed opportunities. Clear expectations, frequent check-ins, and naming issues early prevent bigger problems later. Sixth, strengthen the system, not just the stars. Volleyball doesn't champion solo heroes. One weak pass breaks the entire play. Leadership isn't about shining individually. It's about strengthening the system, which means investing time in development, support, and inclusion. Because when one person struggles, it can't be a personal failure. It has to be a team problem. And teams win when leaders uplift and recognize the contributions of everyone, not just the loudest or most confident voices. Seventh, adapt quickly and trust people in their roles. If the front row isn't hitting well, I adjust and I set the back row. And if the defense is off balance, I'll just send the ball over on the second hit. Leadership isn't about sticking to the plan at all costs. It's about paying attention and adjusting when something isn't working. That also means trusting people to do their jobs. Setters set, liberos pass, hitters hit. Leadership isn't about micromanaging. It's about role clarity and trust. When people know what's expected of them and feel trusted to execute, performance improves. It's also about knowing when your voice is needed and when someone else's should take center court. And finally, make room for joy. Joy matters. Fun matters. Teams that feel connected play better. And leadership doesn't have to be heavy to be effective. Leadership is trust, encouragement, adaptability, and effort. Because just like in volleyball, you can't get a good hit off a bad set. Leadership starts with how you show up and how you set the tone for everyone else.
Thank you so much, Jelena. If you would like to send Jelena some feedback on chat, now would be the opportune time to do that while I take a minute to send her some feedback myself. All right. So that was our prepared speech portion of the meeting. We're now going to move on to the impromptu section of the meeting, which we like to call table topics. Table topics will be led today by Topics Master Artemis, and we'll allow approximately 10 minutes for this. So Artemis, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Did you know that table topics is one of the three main pillars or segments of the Toastmasters meeting? Thinking on your feet, impromptu, extemporaneous, speaking on your feet, speaking off the cuff, are all interchangeable terms for table topics. For those who are new, the benefits of a table topics is to help you to listen effectively, to think more strategically, or to think more fluently in a timely, well-organized manner. How this works is I will state the question twice for clarity, and which in turn the speaker responds with a reply from 1 to 2 minutes. Madam Timer, would you please explain the timing rules for table topics, 1 to 2 minutes?
Yes. So for table topics, the timing is 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will turn my background green. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I will turn my background yellow. And at 2 minutes, I will turn my background red. And this is to ensure that we are keeping with the allotted timing rules, which is important, as you know, in any meeting.
Okay, thank you, Madam Timer. My first question is, if you could be empowered by one superhuman power, what would it be? If you could be empowered by one superhuman power, what would it be? Toastmaster Liverman?
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters, Mental Masters. If I could be empowered by one superhuman being, what would it be? Growing up as a little boy, during the time when there was no color TV, all black and white television, I just loved the cartoon Superman. You all know Clark Kent, how he would basically transition from a mild-mannered reporter. Everyone thought that they could just do anything to Clark Kent. And all of a sudden, the bad boys come in town, and what would he do? He would run into the telephone booth, and all of a sudden, you see in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman. Whatever problems were, a plethora of problems were located in that city. But this mild-mannered reporter transitioned from a weak, what we consider weak, a total transformation to Superman. And I look at that as a transformation in life. Sometimes we're all down, weak, and everything. But at that moment, when things come against us, we can be emotional super women and super men in our own unique way. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Liverman. My second question is, how can you get into the Guinness Book of Records? How can you get into the Guinness Book of Records? Toastmaster Buswell.
Thank you, Artemis. My friend Kate Mansker is actually in the 2012 Guinness Book of World Records for paddling a kayak a long distance. She paddled on the Missouri River like some amount of time. I could not paddle. Any distance, I barely stay afloat. I used to think I was a great swimmer. Not really a great swimmer. My sister is a much better swimmer than me. I unfortunately didn't know that let my mouth get ahead of me, and my sister had to handily beat me in a pool before I was like, oh, I guess, my mouth is significantly better. I guess I could get in the Guinness Book of World Records for my witty retorts. Is that a Guinness Book of World Records thing? I'm not sure. That's what I would go for. I think that I would aspire to be in the Guinness Book of World Records for my running acumen or for something athletic, super strength or something great, but that's not in my. I have appreciation for the gifts I do have, and that's not one of them. Anyway, thank you, Artemis. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Buswell. My next question is, what is the one thing that you would like to change in your life? I see it's a visitor is it Pastor Chantel? Would you like to take on the table topics?
Hello. Yes. Do I have to open my camera? Because I'm actually in Ghana right now, so it's after
Wow.
almost midnight here. Yeah. So
Well,
yeah, I
that's
live in Ghana
exciting.
in the U.S. So yes, we
Okay.
can take it on. If I don't have to turn on my camera, I can take it on.
Okay, thank you. I have a question for you. It's interesting. Can you tell us a little bit about Ghana? You're in Ghana. Can you share with us what it's like to be in Ghana?
Thank you, Artemis. I think I'm saying it right. Being in Ghana has been life changing. I am also still a U.S. citizen, but also I have a residency here in Ghana alone. I am married to a Ghanaian, my husband, for 2 years. I came here not to get married. I came here on a spiritual journey 2 years ago, and it was a decision that I made that definitely changed my life forever, spiritually and also naturally. But therefore, I met my husband here as well. Living in Ghana is definitely um, a eye opener of the freedom that we have in the United States. The different things like lights on a constant basis, water, clean water. What else? It's hot here, so very hot. All here in Ghana, there's only two seasons. There's rainy season and hot season. So we don't have winter, spring, summer, and fall. Traveling back and forth has been an experience that I would not trade for the world. It has been an adjustment to the culture. The people are very nice, very loving, very caring, a very peaceful country here in West Africa. And I have enjoyed every bit of it. I am here now as we are working through immigration. My husband has never been to the United States. He does not desire to come there to live, but we both are pastors at Father's Ministry, and we do missions as well. So we've been able to build schools here. We've brought water to communities. Also, we even have built the chief of a local village here, a palace. That was all done through our ministry, the global ministry that we help at my father's church. So Ghana is definitely a place I would say if you don't want to come live, definitely got to come at least visit. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow, that was very exciting. Thank you for sharing. Madam Toastmaster, are we still in time or?
Let me just check. I think we could do one more. Maybe Donald would like to try one.
Okay, one more. Toastmaster Stuckey.
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to do a table topics?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sure. How would you like to earn your 15 minutes of fame? How would you like to earn your 15 minutes of fame?
Thank you, Toastmasters. Even though I am not a person who craves a lot of fame, if I did have to earn it, I would like to be known for doing something that uplifts people and families in our communities, whether that's highlighting um, issues related to public transportation or making sure that people have access to the things that they need in their life, good education, and a community that supports its people. Those are the things I think are important. When we don't take the opportunity to uplift those issues, I rather think more about others than to think about myself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Donald Stuckey, for answering that question. This concludes my portion of the Toastmasters meeting, and therefore I return control to our wonderful Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Baird.
Thank you. Fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, this is now the time of the meeting where we change gears from speaking to evaluating. So I'm going to invite our general evaluator, Sheila Buswell to introduce the next section of the meeting and introduce the team.
Thank you, Karen. I want to explain that the general evaluator and evaluations, and I always say that they are to sharp. I always use the analogy of sharpening the sword. Like they want to make yourself better at whatever you choose. And then we're all here to improve how we engage with the world and speaking. So the purpose of the general evaluator or evaluations period is to observe and assess. I'm reading this, so please understand, and improve the overall effectiveness of each role. And my job is to assess the and observe the overall meeting. But first, I'm going to introduce each evaluator. First, the evaluation for speech one is going to be done by Bill Moylan, and this is going to be kind of strange because I don't know. He's going to email the form to Anthony Gore, and I don't know if he's going to provide his evaluation to all of us verbally with Anthony not here or just.
I'm afraid that Bill Moylan has left the meeting, so I imagine it will just be offline.
Okay, great. So we'll move right ahead to evaluation for Artemis's speech, which would be Bill Liverman's evaluation. Take it away, Bill.
Actually, at the beginning of the meeting, since
oh, that's right, Karen, you're doing it. Sorry, I saw that Bill was here, and I was like, okay, it's
Right.
Bill, and no, it's you.
I didn't want to, try to change gears after the meeting had already started. So
I understand it. Very good. You always, I don't know the term for this, but you jump on grenades. Like when they come, you take the role.
Yes, yes. Amen.
That's what I'll be in the world's book of record for, jumping on grenades.
Jumping over the house.
Thank you. Fellow Toastmasters guests and are my friend and fellow distinguished Toastmaster Artemis Matt. As discussed, the evaluation is for a coaching moment, a feedback. It's never a criticism. It's always what I saw, what I felt, what I observed, and what I think can help you to grow in your skill set. So what I saw was that you had great enthusiasm. What I heard is great warmth in your voice. I heard many, many examples of of your theme being the mind, for the betterment of the mind and the body. When specifically your project was to incorporate gestures and body language. So I noticed the come with me was great, the drinking with the water, the breathing and the box breathing. I've heard that term before, but I never heard it explained before. So that I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Overall, you had a great theme all throughout your speech. You had great advice, great examples, lots of great information. My only suggestion for you for what you might want to do to grow into your skill is a little bit more preview at the beginning of what you're going to cover so that I can follow along, because I have ADD and my mind starts bouncing around if the topic gets a little bit too broad. So if I could have a little bit of an outline before you begin, that would help. And then I also noticed at the end, it seems like you were speeding up, rushing to get a little bit more information in. Okay. And this is not just for you, but this is for every speaker, because I used to try to cram so much stuff into my speeches all the time. I tried to get every bit of information into every speech. And then I realized that it's better to focus on just a few key things than to try to cover the whole field. So that's not just for you, Artemis, that's for everybody. Keep the focus to the main points, and then you'll have a much better, deeper dive, and people will retain it longer. So good job, Artemis. I enjoyed your enthusiasm. I enjoyed your gestures. I am amazed by all the gamut of information that you gave us: mind, body, diet, rest, exercise. Well, thank you. Good job.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, Felice, you're doing the next evaluation, and I just dropped my paperwork. And I had the schedule. So I'll do that while you're talking. So I'll bend over and pick it up. But Felice, take it away. Evaluate Jelena.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sheila Buswell. Hello, everyone. I am going to evaluate our the speech by Toastmaster Jelena Werkler. So, first off, thank you for that wonderful speech of your understanding about the leadership style, setting the tone. I really enjoyed your speech, and I think it is very great hearing all the it's an enjoyable experience hearing your speech every time, and I really liked it this time as well. So at the very beginning, your opening was an immediate catch. I thought was interesting that you started with close your eyes and imagine something and immediately engage the audience and pay attention to what you're going to talk about. So that was great. And then throughout the entire presentation, the entire speech, your passion about your topic it's really contagious to us all. From the way that your body language, your gesture, the facial expression, and then your vocal variety, all of it, you put all of them together and it feels like you're fully engaged in your speech. I'm not saying that anyone can just partially engage and give a speech, but the way that you do it, it really gives us an impression that you are truly passionate and the topic is interesting and it gives that tone. So you're setting a great tone on that. That is the part, and throughout the presentation, you're using the example of playing volleyball and demonstrated your point one by one. That is good, and you also keep a very good cadence in the way that you speak for appropriate pause between each point, and then your the way that you talk about things that are not too fast or too slow, and we can hear it very clearly. So that is all very well. And just the one thing that I think that I might kind of want to ask you maybe. So at the beginning, I heard that I talked about the opening that you asked us to imagine something. And then there was a question that you specifically asked, did you imagine the leader could be a woman? So at that moment, for a second, I thought that would be your topic for the day. But then it's kind of, you mentioned it, but then it's not the core, the focus of the entire speech. So I thought a little bit more connection between especially at the beginning, because people are paying more attention at what you're going to talk about, those kind of questions, a more connection from those questions to the later on the presentation, that would be even better. That is all my evaluation. Thank you.
Very good job, Felice. The next is table topics evaluation, which is something that our group does uniquely. However, I don't know if I have an old, because I dropped all my, I have old school papers because I hate trees. And I want them all to die a horrible death. My table topics evaluation was going to be done by Anthony Gore, and I didn't take notes. Did anybody prepare table topics evaluation?
I saw on the agenda that occurred, and so I did take notes.
Great. Thank you, Kimberly. Baird Cooley, please take it away.
Hello, everybody. We had some very interesting and engaging table topics today. I want to thank Distinguished Toastmaster Artemis Mayat for the wonderful topics today. We had 4 speakers. First was Dr. Bill Liverman, who answered the question, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? And Bill, right out the gate, he knew. He said, I want to be Superman. And the excitement that Bill brought to that topic, I was like, I want to be Superman too. He had a thesis statement about why he wanted to be Superman. He had a topic that we're pretty much all familiar with. Everyone knows Superman. He had really great gestures. He said, Superman's gonna fly. He goes into the booth, he flies. And it was like I was seeing Superman flying. So Bill did a great job. He packed a lot into that 1 to 2 minutes. Good job, Bill. Next, we had the question to Sheila, Toastmaster Sheila Buswell. If you were going to get into the Guinness Book of World Records, what would you get into it for? And you told us that your friend is actually in one of the Guinness Book of World Records, which who would have thought that we, through the power of separation, knew someone in the book? That's crazy. So that was really interesting. It took you a little bit to get to what you wanted to be in the Book of World Records for, but we got there. And you engaged humor while you were kind of parsing through what is Sheila gonna be in the world records for? You used humor to get yourself to the end of that topic. So great job using that engaging humor. Next, our guest, so brave, Pastor Chantel Michelle Jackson Nayama, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. We originally were going to ask you about something else that I deleted because then you told us you were in Ghana and we all wanted to hear about that. And that was really, really cool that you volunteered to do a table topic. Amazing bravery. You nailed it, as someone said in the chat. Oh, you said it. And you talked about a lot of different things. You packed a lot into a short amount of time, which is amazing. You talked about how you came to Ghana, what it's like there in general, how it's different from the United States, and how you enjoy it. You talked about your relationship and some of the achievements that you were able to do in building community in Ghana. So we learned a ton about you in a short amount of time. Amazing. And then our last speaker was Toastmaster Donald Stuckey. You talked about your 15 minutes of fame and how would you like to get your 15 minutes of fame? And you took it in a really amazing direction of building attention and community. You wanted to get your 15 minutes of fame by uplifting people and bringing attention to the things that needed attending to in our communities, in our neighborhoods. And I think that really shows us a lot about your character and your values. So I greatly appreciate that you chose to let us in a little bit by showing us what's important to you in such a short amount of time. You were within the time limits. Everyone was within the time limits. Great job, everybody. Good table topics today.
Great job. Especially because when I saw his name on there, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? The next one, I see Artemis. I see your distinguished Toastmaster, Artemis Mayat. Oh my gosh, you are all over the schedule. I keep calling on you and I'm sorry, but thank you. Thank you so much. You're the counter grammarian. And I said numerous times. And afterwards, I was like, I hope that's counted. I don't know who's counting it, but I hope it is. Take it away, Artemis. Oh, you're on mute.
Okay. I think they're there. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Serving as the eye counter and grammarian is an excellent opportunity to practice effective communication and critical skills such as active listening. Now, the benefits, there are several benefits, but I'll just name a few. It's mastering word usage, increasing your vocabulary, and eliminating fillers and crutch words such as but, so, well, pregnant pauses. The iconic grammarian also notes throat clearing, incorrect grammar, run-on, also to boost the reward of superb language and use of the word of the day. I would only say I've heard a lot of ums and ahs. Only thing that I could recommend to help you improve and go to the next level is we all need to do it is record ourselves each and every time and listen back. Record ourselves and listen back. Record ourselves and listen back. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Artemis. Now it's time for my report, the General Evaluator report. And I just want to say, I want to acknowledge that, first of all, Kim Baird Cooley, was on the Anthony Gore left the meeting impromptu and she covered down on his absence and I didn't even know it. And Karen filled a lot of roles and Artemis filled a lot of roles. And I appreciate that. The meeting ran very smoothly. I appreciate all those things. The meeting started on time and it ran very smoothly. I really appreciate that on a level I can't enunciate or emphasize enough. Not enunciate, emphasize. Thank you very much. I will hand it back to Karen. Thanks.
Thank you.
I also have the timer report.
Yeah, I was just going to
Oh, sorry, Jelena. Yes, you.
Okay, so I was the timer for today. As Sheila alluded to, it's very important that the meeting run on time according to the agenda. I think we can all relate to being in meetings where it runs over and it's very painful, right? So that's part of what we practice here in Toastmasters is adhering to the time structure of the meeting. So for our prepared speeches, Anthony spoke first for 4 minutes and 50 seconds. And although that is lower than the 5 to 7 minute criteria, it's still within the 30-second grace period. Artemis was our second speaker at 8 minutes and 25 seconds, so a little bit over. And then I was speaker number 3 at 6 minutes and 55 seconds, so just under. For table topics, Artemis was kind enough to jump in. We had Bill Liverman speaking for 1:20, Sheila speaking for 1:22, our new guest, Chantel, spoke for 1:52. Amazing. Your first time. You spoke so eloquently and intentionally. It was an amazing experience for all of us. And then Donald, welcome back. Always a pleasure to have you here. You spoke for 1:04. For the evaluations, we didn't get to hear from Bill, but Karen spoke for 2 minutes and 56 seconds. Felice spoke for 3 minutes and 12 seconds. And Kimberly, as the table topics evaluator, spoke for 3 minutes and 32 seconds. And that concludes my timers report.
Thank you. Thank you, Jelena. So at this time, I would like to open up the floor for any comments, observations, or questions. And I'd like to first go to our guest, Pastor Chantel, and ask you what did you see? What did you feel about this meeting?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Excuse me. I really enjoyed it. I actually was a Toastmasters. It's been some years now. Actually, Bill Liverman, I don't know if you remember me, but I was a part of one of your Toastmasters groups with Odell Stevenson, Ronette Gordon. Okay, so I actually was on, someone invited me on LinkedIn. And I was like, oh, wow, this is a Toastmasters on Zoom. And because of my travel schedule, I'm like, oh, this is perfect because I wanted to come back to join Toastmasters because it did help me out a lot. Being a pastor, as you know, we speak a lot and that doesn't make us perfect. And I would like to perfect, my gifting when it comes to presentation. This is what the young lady said in her name is Dorothy J. Hamilton. I don't know if you all know her, but she invited me. She said, learn to motivate and persuade others through the power of your presentation. Your confidence will be felt and shared by your audience. Metro Masters Toastmasters Club number 9197 meets via Zoom every fourth Tuesday, 6 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. So I was just like, oh my God, this is cool. I can't really sleep because I'm still on US hours. So it's already almost midnight here. So sometimes I just be up. So I'm like, oh, I'm joining this. So I am glad I was able to come, and I hope I can definitely join this group of Toastmasters. You all did an excellent job. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thanks for sharing that. And we're so grateful to Dottie for sending you the invite. She told me that she was going to send some invites out, but I didn't know that you were among them. So thank you. And we will follow up with you. Donald, what is your observation, feeling, feedback for today? Donald's on mute.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your question.
Oh, I was wondering what your thoughts, questions, feelings,
Oh.
feedback was for today.
Oh, no, I thought today was a very good meeting. I appreciate the feedback from the table topic and hearing the other very good speeches today. So thank you very much.
Okay, great. And among the members, are there any questions or suggestions? Any comments for today?
I just want to note that as we had discussed before, I went through the agenda and updated it to who actually filled the role today. So we have accurate reporting.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Hey.
All right, our next meeting will be on January 27th. So we want to make sure that all the roles are filled. And, you know, we have been pre-filling the roles on the agenda. So make sure that you check the agenda and check to see what roles you've been assigned. And it's actually, to me, it's motivational to have the roles assigned ahead of time, because then I know I have to prepare for something that maybe I would procrastinate if I wasn't assigned.
I will definitely check the agenda, but I'm just letting everybody know I will not be here
Oh, okay.
for the next meeting.
All right. Thank you.
And I will remove myself if I'm planned for any roles.
Okay. And I'll put that down, Sheila, just so we'll know.
Is that Toastmaster of the Day?
Yes, she is assigned Toastmaster of the Day.
Oh, I could sign up for it.
Okay, thank you, Artemis. And then
Thank you very much.
FYI, our speakers are slotted as Karen, Kimberly, and Mara. I'll reach out to her to see if she's still interested.
Okay, great.
Good.
Well, as you know, this is the beginning of the year and our first meeting of the year. A lot of people have New Year's resolutions. They want to improve themselves. This is the opportune time for us to invite people to come to visit our meetings so that we can spread the joy of being a Toastmaster and improve the number of members within our club. So I have asked each person to think about who you might invite to our next upcoming meeting. And we are going to be looking at what we can do to make sure that we reach our club success plan for this year.
Yes, indeed. Karen, question? Yes, just a quick announcement. Enjoy the meeting, everyone. And I mentioned this last meeting, but the time has arrived. My live podcast will be tomorrow. I'm sorry, I'm excited. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be interviewed by Chris Voss, who is his podcast show is the top 1% globally, and he'll be interviewing me regarding my book. So it'll be 4 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow, and I have a link that Karen, you tell me.
Can you put that in the chat?
Yes, what I do is oh Lord, the link. Karen, could I send that to you later? Look,
yeah, sure. Send it to me, and then I'll send it out to the club.
Yes, I do that. I do that once the meeting's officially.
You know what? I have an even better idea. Send it to Sheila, because she writes the notes as the club secretary and sends the notes out to the club, and that way I don't have to be in between.
Oh, Sheila, could you send me your email address? Or
I'll make sure you get in touch. I will make sure you get in touch with each other.
Yeah, I can also connect.
Okay, fine. We're good. Okay.
All right, wonderful. So Donald and Chantal, we invite you to come back in 2 weeks' time. We're going to send you some information and invite you to become a member of the club. And in that information, it will explain what you'd need to do to become members. And we're happy to have you visit again if you want to do that before you decide, but we are looking for members, so you're very welcome to join. So with that, I will ask our Sergeant of Arms to close the meeting.
I just have one question.
Go ahead.
Are there any more dates for makeup for VP of membership?
I don't know if there are any planned for our district. We'd have to start checking for other districts.
Okay.
Thank you. Anything else before Kimberly closes the meeting?
Okay, meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.